Hello, everybody, and welcome to another roleplay one-shot. Today we're going to be playing Tales from the Loop, and I am joined by, via time warp from the 1980s, my dear friend. Some of us got time warped harder than others. Wheat, Aaron, looking good today, team.
Thanks.
Can we talk about
Aaron.
these jackets? Give us the jacket backstory here, please, because I think I'm most interested in that.
What do you mean a backstory?
Where are
Yeah,
these?
what is it, Aaron?
What is the
Tell the
deal
story.
here? Where did these come from?
These are from a website called Tipsy Elves. Because we needed jackets that Marcus and I could wear together and look like twins. So we found a website that carries like a lot of versions of 80s windbreakers and man and female versions. So now we have it.
We
Super
found
thought
it
you
in
were-
his closet. This is true.
I super thought you were going to say that you needed to find a store that sold twin clothing, which I wish that you had found.
Yeah, no, it's just for twins. It's Tipsy Elves twins.
Okay.
80s windbreakers. It's a
I
very
feel
niche
like-
market, but they have it nailed just perfectly.
I was just, I feel like maybe Austin, you've just invented a new style of Etsy site. Apparel only for twins. Beautiful.
It's really
Beautiful
good.
stuff. So we haven't seen the lot of you in some time. Some of you longer than others. And I know y'all have been up to lots since we last were cowboys in the fake Wild West.
So great.
Austin, you've been real
Hi.
busy with Waypoint.
It's true.
It's
I've launched
great.
a website. Thank you so much.
I've been watching you. You and Patrick have been playing a game that I know roleplay fans have been enjoying as well. Can we talk a little bit about your experiences with PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds? Because
PlayerUnknown's
Crowbar and
Battlegrounds.
Sickle are killing me.
Thank you for watching. Yeah, you can find that on twitch.tv/waypoint, where Patrick Klepek and I every morning attempt to live together and also in a world that hates us and wants us to die. Currently on the shit list, boats, cars, windows, ourselves, the computers that need to edit our video files because all the HVAC in the building went out yesterday, and that meant no one could edit anything. But it's fantastic. That game is like one of those games that when I first saw it, I was like, that's not for me. And now I'm 26 hours in, and it gets better because every time I get a little bit better, the encounters I have get a little more tactical and cinematic at the same time, is because I'm like able to engage at this higher level. So like yesterday we did this thing where it's like, okay, we know there are two people in this house. Patrick, you go over there and start like shooting to just make noise, and they'll come at us. And then I'll sneak in the back, and I totally stuck in the back, and then just like fucked it up, and they just turned around and killed me. But like next time's the time. We got the plan down. We just need the execution.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying watching the two of you play.
I appreciate it.
And I think that's a big draw, at least from a broadcasting perspective of that game, in that it puts people like the duos are always the best streams to watch. It puts people together in a horrifying situation, and then forces them to. It's like watching all those reality TV shows where the couples go on like races or like islands, and then there's try to break up their relationship. It's like that. It's that same tension I find watching those shows.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for watching. And again, you can see that at twitch.tv/waypoint or youtube.com/waypointvice.
Yeah, big ups also to whoever runs the Waypoint Twitter, because it's beautiful. Is that Danica?
That's Danica Herod, who is a gift, who is someone who has helped us so much. So shout outs to Danica.
Yeah, it's good stuff. If you're not following the Waypoint Twitter, definitely go and do that, because you'll see things. And yeah,
I will let her know you said this. This is a show. Hopefully, will make her feel good.
That's good. That's good. Speaking of being busy with new things, Jerry, you've taken a step into the dark realm that is dungeon mastering on Twitch.
Yes.
With C Team. How's that going for you? How's that experience bringing your dungeon mastering out to the Twitch chats of the world?
It's super weird, honestly, because I'm a person who is, I think of myself as very private, but then every time I want to commit some, inadvisable creative act, it's almost certainly public, like 100% public. Like I keep widening the circle of people who can actively observe me, and I need to stop it. I need to stop it. I don't know how you fucking do this, man. Like, it is all I can do. It is all I can do for those couple hours just to maintain a universe that isn't annihilated by those 4 people constantly. I mean, I've run games before, but this crew, like, they're putting me to work. Like, I have some things that I'd like to talk about in the space of those adventures, but you make this one NPC that is not even there for any good goddamn reason, and that's all they want to talk to. So that's cool. But
I find that
scenario,
very much. Yeah, I find that very much to be the case. In that now, especially because you'll have an audience, you'll find that there are functionally 3 sorts of NPCs in the games. The ones you care about that get killed almost immediately. The ones that you don't care about that you will have to spend 7 episodes portraying, and the one-off goofy characters you hope never to play again, but whom chat will never let go of. And will
I
expect
I made the mistake of giving a werewolf a goofy accent, and just seriously, just to make it endurable for me. And they want to fuck this thing now. So that's my life now, is managing just erotic thrills. But no, it has been super fun. I had seen you doing it like this all sort of when I was on that one shot. I was like, man, I want to get out there too. Like, I want to mess around out there, and Austin's fucking killing it out there. I just want to put my hat in the ring.
It's fun. It's fun to do the things that we do. It's
yeah.
It's great.
And as I understand it, the whole reason that Twitch even exists and is operating is because of Aaron, right? Aaron, you're the president of Twitch now.
I thought you were going to go straight to Marcus. I was ready for you to go to Marcus.
Your Twitch is Twitch's mascot, which is an important role to play. Good to have the guy in the suit spinning the Twitch sign, but how is life at the Big Purple, Aaron?
It's good. It's really busy. We've been prepping for TwitchCon that just got announced. Marcus and I actually in real life mimic twins in that we do a lot of the same things at Twitch and work on the same projects just in a little bit different ways. So we've both been working on TwitchCon that just came out. We have, as always, my job is saying we have exciting things coming up and staying tuned, but not being able to say a thing about the exciting things that are coming up soon. But yeah, we've been really busy behind the scenes getting some stuff up and running. So it's always exciting.
It's a deep and time-honored tradition in this space to announce the announcement of a thing. So
right.
Good.
What's the Calvin and Hobbes visualizing the conceptualization process?
Yes, that's just a constant loop of that, and then announcing a thing, and then as soon as the thing is announced, being like, "But hold on, there's more." But wait, and then just telling people to wait for the next.
It's a science, I think.
We have the science nailed down. So that's what we've been working on between that and Star Trek VR and Final Fantasy.
Yeah, can we talk about Star Trek VR for a second? Because
which is the greatest thing ever.
Here, listen, this is going to take over the stream. Let's just talk about Bridge Crew.
Aureylian.
Let's just go that way.
We got some time for this.
I've been
I will
waiting
say that
my
I
have a
whole
headset
life
right
for
there. We could just pivot. We could just call it
It's
off.
right here. Yes. Bye. No more one shot. Just Star Trek VR.
Can we do Star Trek VR as the characters we've made for this playing Star Trek VR?
Yes.
Okay.
We've always wanted to get really meta with roleplay and play characters, playing a video game. So we'll start nesting that stuff. So I got to see just like a little bit of you and Zeke and Scoots and JP playing. And it looked amazing. You had just switched to the old school Enterprise, and I watched JP just like face rolling a series of yellow and blue buttons, trying to figure out how to make the ship go.
We weren't prepared for that because we had been playing as the Aegis, and that is everything is labeled and it's very new age tech. And then we were like, let's try something different. Let's go to the original, and it's just like in the TV show. Just play buttons. It looks like a kid's like play computer and nothing actually does anything, and you have no idea what's going on. And if you want to see what's happening, you have to look at a screen over there and then come back to your butt. It was intense and crazy and incredibly fun. And I think Zeke as the captain was one of the best things because he just screams and then his arms were freaking and the thing. And so he was like, just do the shit. JP's name was Moogle. So he was like, Mr. Moogle, get us the fuck out of here. And he's just like screaming at JP the whole time. It was incredible. It was
What
great.
platform were you playing on?
I think all three of us were on PSVR, and then Scoots was on Vive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So one of the things you can tell, I noticed this when I was playing with somebody last night, our tactics officer, if you could see somebody who can actually point with their finger, that's off of the
That's the Vive.
Oculus Touch.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because there's like another level of it's like tactile, like the controller just interprets it differently, and I want to point so bad. I want to point 100% of the time, and I'm not able to.
Yeah, Zeke, Scott was able to like do this at us, and he was playing the Vive, and then the rest of us were just doing this.
Yeah,
although
exactly.
I liked playing with the PlayStation controller was really good. I just couldn't like hold my arms up and wave like they could, so it was just me fake screen waving where I would just move my hand like this across screen.
My experience on PSVR, so I do a lot of VR stuff on PC as well, but my experience on the PSVR was really, really good. Like I think that implementation is excellent.
Yeah, the in-game sounds worked really well. It worked really smoothly for something that I saw at E3 last year, and literally my entire life I wanted to grow up to be Captain Janeway and I couldn't. This is like the next best thing, and I think
this is the evolution of a thing that has been going on since the original Star Trek. I remember when I lived in Calgary, I worked at a game store, and we had a back room that people could rent out for gaming, and there was a LARP group called the USS Ad Astra, and they would all show up on Friday afternoons as we were closing in their Star Trek regalia, and they would just do their little like bridge LARP. This is what they've always hoped for. Like this is the continuation of that event, right? And there's that other one, the PC
Artemis.
non-VR Artemis, which had been the mainstay of if you want to pretend to be a spaceship crew. That was your jam. So it's
Adam,
really cool
listen,
to see these
so
things.
People, especially anyone who is on this stream right now, would be so adept at it because you already know the roles so well from having watched the show. Like you know exactly what to do. Like I mean, the captain role is really interesting because it's mostly RP. Right.
Yeah. Well, inadvertent LARPing happens to people who play these games, whether they intend it to or not. Right. Like you can hear the person who is the captain. It's like the prisoner doctor social experiment that they did, where the captain becomes authoritarian simply by being the captain, and they take on an aura that way. I've never seen it not happen in any of these games, and it's great. It's so cool.
It's something else.
It was so fun. We're gonna play again on Sunday, so if you guys missed it and you want to watch
hell yeah,
we're gonna be doing it again on Sunday. And I had like a really stressful thing happen a few days ago, and I remember texting JP being like, all I want to do is escape far, far away and get on the bridge of the Aegis and never talk to these people ever again. And it was so fun. It's everything I hoped that it would be, and I hope that it's kind of does what like a Telltale thing does, where they release new episodes.
I want seasons.
Yeah. Yes. I hope that continues to happen, because even though they have the random generating thing that you can do, I liked the story. I liked knowing that we were going in for a specific mission that had a purpose. And it was great. It got exponentially harder every mission that you got. We failed one. We went back and had to figure out again. It was just, the game is 10 out of 10.
I want the Defiant, but again, like I think the part of the reason why, if you just sat down at it and played it like as a video game, I think two things. One, I think you're not going to like it as well as you and I do. And two, I think that you might be doing it wrong, like with no W, just like RONG, right? Because if you meet it halfway, you find something that is not a video game. It's just a stage and just a set. Like as a context for imaginary play, it is out of this world. Like I want the Defiant yesterday.
Yeah.
And I want to do a science vessel. Like I want to do like you spend a lot of time defending science vessels. I want to do that Janeway thing, right? Like Janeway's.
So you want to drink scotch and be angry at people?
Yeah, exactly. But Janeway.
She wasn't angry all the time.
She came from engineering, right? Mm-hmm. Like I want that other. It's like before Rogue One, all Star Wars movies are about magic wizards and the trouble they cause. Like I want to actually boldly go and explore and like discover things as the core praxis of the ship.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know if you've ever heard this, and this could be totally false, but this is what I was told as a little girl and why I liked the concept of Janeway.
Yeah.
They said that they partially hired her for that role because she knew so much about Star Trek lore and she was like super into all of the aspects of Star Trek. And so she was able to not only play the character by like learning the scripts, but because she actually understood the mechanics behind what happened in political situations and about the ships and about engineering and about all of that built into the Star Trek universe. That could be totally fake. But that's what my dad told me as a kid. I think he just wanted me to study shit. I don't know. But
I want to know. I want to know when we're going to get the opportunity to live out the dream of Ferengi hypercapitalism and fly around in a merchant ship talking about our enormous years.
2025. That's just where we're going naturally, I think.
In Vegas, they had it.
Quark for president?
Yeah, in Vegas, they used to have an experience where you could go do the Star Trek experience and you could go to Quark's bar. I went too. And the next time I went to Vegas, it was gone. And I was like, screw Vegas. I don't need this.
Where was it?
Wasn't it the MGM?
Oh, was it? It probably was.
I think it was at the MGM, but it was the coolest thing, and you could get like they gave you the glasses, and it had like dry ice and smoked, and the onion rings came in like planets. It was rad.
Remember the shots that came on that weird 3-dimensional tree, and it's like there's like 8 shots. Oh, you fucked up. You fucked up. Now it's closed. Let me tell you what happened to me, and then we should probably play this game. But this is what happened to me.
I mean, Marcus needs a turn.
So we went down there for how they have like San Diego Comic-Con? Mm-hmm. They were trying to do a Las Vegas Comic-Con. So we went down there for the first year of that, and it was a total bust. Like we lost more money. Like we spent more money getting down there than we made. Like it was a real shit show. But it's still one of my best memories ever because one night we got a chance to go out to that Star Trek experience, and something like 70% of the people working in that bar were readers of Penny Arcade. From
everything, didn't you?
From the bartenders to the servers to the entertainment to the characters walking around, it was 100% rad Star Trek shit end to end. And they sold it so hard. It was amazing.
We need to bring it back. Can someone start a Kickstarter to bring it back? We need it.
Kickstart every other goddamn thing.
I know, right?
Yeah, that's what Kickstarter is for, reviving dead businesses. It's in their corporate
resuscitating.
So I got this Blockbuster I'm gonna open. So I'm gonna kickstart a Blockbuster.
$52,000. I know that doesn't seem like a lot.
Exactly. Yeah. I need you to keep it open. So we're gonna be kickstarting this every year. Yeah. Repeated Kickstarter for Blockbuster. Yeah. So before we get started, I want to give Marcus, I want to give you a chance. I want to get caught up with you because I know you've been doing some stuff. But apropos of nothing, not at all that it's your turn to talk. But I just want to check, how old was everybody in 1986 when this game was set? 10. Just as
what
real
month?
Quick.
What month?
I say August.
1 month old.
Nice.
A year and a month.
9.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So I was 3, so I wasn't like I actually have some like very vague memories of Expo 86. So this is like the beginning of my conscious life. So it's good. We don't have any like massive disparity. We were all alive. We're not playing with anyone who was born in like 1992.
No.
That's good. We're all grown-ups here. Fantastic.
Screw you, 90s kids.
Wheat, I saw what I think might be my favorite clip, Twitch clip of all time. I posted on Twitter. I believe you've seen it. During the Twitch Unity during the Twitch Unity dance celebration. If you haven't seen this, there's an amazing clip of our own djWHEAT doing the worm. I did not know you could rip it up that way, Wheat. I'm very proud of you.
I hurt myself that day. No, actually, but I did have to stretch. Otherwise, I would have. That was fun. That was fun. They asked me that, they were like, well, hey, let's make up some donation milestones. And I said, no, you just figure it out. You let me know whatever it is. And I guess that was my own fault. So there we go. I don't know if I'll ever do that again, but it was fun.
Did you actually know how to do the worm before they told you were going to do the worm?
I mean, because I probably was doing it when I was 9. Aaron, so
I've never
here we are.
So I don't
31 years later. I'm like, all right, like there has to be some muscle memory to this, and that's basically what you got. Is
it's like riding a bike. Yeah.
Memory of doing the worm, and it was, okay. I'm sure b-boys were face palming around the world, just. But yeah, it's been good. I've just been up to the same old shit, to be honest with you. I moved recently, which is terrifying but an awesome experience at the same time. We're about done with boxes. Like it's been many years since I've actually unpacked everything I've moved or just gotten rid of it. It's been kind of zen. But one of the best things, and I'm just adding whatever. Well, I just want to talk about this because I think it's so much fun and cool. I've had a hue system for a really long time, like lights all automated, right?
Yeah. For folks who don't live in San Francisco, these are lights that you can install in your home and then control with your phone to change their color or brightness. So now we're all Bay Area ready. Go ahead.
So thanks, Adam.
Bay compatible.
I actually was in a place where they had these other weird lights and my hue wasn't compatible. So when we moved into the new place, suddenly it was like, oh, good, this is great. Get to like put hue in. And so totally like installed throughout the house. And of course it's fun. It's great. And I found this amazing like thunderstorm app that will just play thunderstorm sounds and then it will simulate thunder. It's incredible. It's like having a thunderstorm in your room. But what I never realized about spending a lot of money for automated lights is that you actually save a lot of money. Like I had no idea how much money LED lights say. I had no. I know it's like it's more energy efficient. It will save you money, but holy shit, it's it's literally like 97%.
Let me just take a quick minute. So I went around and we asked everybody what they've been up to. Started a new D&D game. Launched a gaming website. Was the captain of a spaceship. Saved money on their energy bills. Thanks, Papa Wheat.
Yeah, exactly. Like let's get some Geico shit up in this.
This is the kind of shit you get excited about after you turn 40, man. I don't know. I'm like, I can make the lights red. I can just be like,
no, hey,
turn studio lights to red.
I'm still doing drugs and having sex. Like that's the stuff that I get cranked up about. While the hue lights are going nuts.
Jerry, hold on a second. Okay, I thought this was a kid, a family-friendly show, but like if you want to go into the details of what a hue.
So here's what's up. So it turns out that if you say sex really loud, your son runs into the room.
I know that problem. But if you do want to talk about the details of like the enhancements that you can have with a hue, established household, right? I mean, there's nothing sexier than like saying into your watch, like, turn on some mood music and dim the lights, Siri. And the wife is just like,
right. And that's when the lights turn red and Raining Blood comes on, and you're like, well, you're here now.
No, wrong scene, Siri, shit.
I will say this about those lights. I found out the other day that by way of there's a website that's got all these automation macros for like social media and stuff, and it's used predominantly for like when you post to one place, it'll post to another, or when someone mentions you, it'll download into a database or whatever. But there are plugins that connect those lights to Twitch so that when someone goes live, your lights blink purple, or like when you get a subscriber, your lights like flash. So
it's the development behind it is actually really incredible. When I was playing StarCraft 2 and first had my system, there was a guy who wrote a little script that when I got supply blocked, my lights would turn red. Yeah. So like literally I had this built-in thing, and then I'd be like, oh shit, build overload. Okay. I mean, it's just like incredible, right? I don't know. Home automation is something that's kind of sweet. So that is.
Even if we can't be cyborgs yet, at least the places where we live can be cyborgs. We'll get it eventually.
Yeah. But I'm also excited. The 80s is my jam. I love the 80s. I still love the 80s. Every movie that we've been talking about has been listed here is a classic, is great. So I'm really excited to play this game and, be in this era.
Yeah, let's make some characters, and then we'll do introduction scenes, and we'll get started. So, just for folks who are totally unfamiliar with Tales from the Loop, Tales from the Loop is a relatively new role-playing game. The premise of the game is that the characters play kids in a world not unlike the 80s of our own lives, except that in the late 60s. Technology for particle acceleration became universally available. And these particle accelerators called loops were built. And as a result, over the course of more or less like your character's early lives, you're the first generation that has lived with loops in existence their whole life. And so as a result of these particle accelerators, the characters in the world have access to things like flying vehicles, super science in the sense of like hyper robotics, cybernetics, that kind of thing. And for our characters, those things are awe-inspiring and interesting in the way that like a huge tanker ship might be, or a cool F-15 fighter plane, but they're not magic. They're just a part of the world. But they're also a vector for weird things happening in the world. And one thing that I want to talk about before we even get into talking about characters and building the characters is that Tales from the Loop does this thing that I think that more role-playing games really like need to do, in that it sets up tonal kind of points for all of us. So there's something that we'll go over them. I'll read them out to everybody. But basically, we have principles that we all kind of agree to when we play to create the kind of fiction that the game wants us to create, which is this sort of Goonies, E.T., like 80s like kids movie situation. So the principles of the loop, which we will all attempt to follow as we play, are as follows. So your hometown is full of strange and fantastic things. So even though we're playing in the most mundane town in Canada I could think of, Thunder Bay, Ontario, the town itself is full of strange and fantastic things because of the technology made available by the loop. We see the world through the eyes of the kids, and so even the kind of mundane can seem exciting and cool to us. But by contrast, everyday life is dull and unforgiving, right? We may live in this world where super science is available to us, but the alarm clock rings every morning and you got to get your homework done, and mom and dad still fight, and your siblings hate you, and your house smells weird, and nobody wants to be your friend. These things are all still potentially true for your characters, but the idea is that sort of Buffy-esque, like, yes, you get to go on exciting adventures, but also you still have to deal with just like being a kid in a sort of real world. Supplementing that, the third principle is that adults are out of reach and out of touch. So it doesn't matter what you say or do, the adults will never listen to you or understand you the way you want them to. They live in their own world, distinct from yours. They can't help you with your problems, really. You're ultimately at the mercy of each other. That there is very much this divided world between the adults and the kids in the setting. So the kids will know this, and you as players, you'll know that if something bad happens, going to an adult might seem like the right choice, but it won't fix the problem, because in this genre of fiction, it's the kids that are the thing that will solve the problem, right? It's not like in E.T., Elliot was like, "Hey, we found this alien." The parents were like, "Thanks." Movie's over, right? It's all about you. The fourth principle is that the land of the loop is dangerous. So dangerous stuff will happen, but the kids won't die. It's just not on the table. It's not a thing that can happen. There will not be a point in the game where I'm like, cool, Jerry, your kid gets hit by a truck, you're dead. It's not, again, not in genre. It's not a thing that we'll see happen in the game. You can be hurt, locked up, made fun of, displaced, robbed, or have your heart broken, but you can't die. That's just
you might wish. You might wish for it, which is completely on brand for 10.
Yes, yeah, you might hate your life, but yeah, in this fiction, the kids won't die. And then lastly, the game is played scene by scene, so it's not going to be kind of this thing happens, then we follow the characters through the interstitial, then this thing happens. We very much frame scenes, so we'll say this is where we are, this is who's here, play the scene, and then it's my job to end the scene, to be like, okay, cool, I think we got what we needed there, let's move on. Again, to create that sort of TV show, like filmic style for the game.
But I think that we also, that's how I remember being that age too.
Yeah, it'll create a sense of like highlighting, right? Where you don't remember the hours spent staring out the window. We might get a vignette of how much you wish you could be outside enjoying the summer heat, but we don't have to stick with the kids while they go through their boring mundanity. And in a way, like you say, we're doing this to remember an 80s that never was for us. And then lastly, the world is described collaboratively. So I'm not going to make up everything. I'm going to ask questions. Character creation especially, I'm going to be like, cool, who is this person? And what do they do? And what's this about? I'll ask you a bunch of questions and you can help me fill in the world. I've got the mystery. I've got the main plot. But the whole rest of the game, all of the heart and soul of it is going to come from your characters and from us collaboratively designing this world, which is why the principles are so important, that we all pay attention to that stuff so we can create a game and a narrative that feels together and unified. So the setting of our game, there are a few in the book, but I wanted to go Canadian with mine because that's where my childhood takes place. It's 1986. It is the town of Thunder Bay, Ontario, and it is, I think, late. I was thinking about setting it in the fall, but fall in Ontario is freezing, and I want you to actually have scenes outside. So it's, I think, like late spring. We're waiting for the school year to end, and that sort of pregnant with potential summer, that halcyon, like it's almost summer, we can go do whatever we want for a month or two. That's coming to the fore as we join the characters. So we'll make characters and then we'll do introduction scenes for them, and then we'll jump into the mystery of the game. So for character creation, this game is like real simple mechanically. We're just gonna be rolling pools of d6s. When we do a 6 as success, you basically always just need 1 6 to get the thing you're trying to do. You're trying to overcome trouble. If you get additional 6s, you can use them to buy more effect, basically. So 1 6 will get you what you want. Additional 6s will get you more. If you fail a roll, or you want to reroll your failed dice and increase your successes, you can use one of 2 mechanics to do that. You can either spend a luck point, which you'll get in character creation based on how old your character is, or you can push yourself. And if you push yourself, you get to reroll, but you take a condition, which are the sort of hit points of this game. In the game, the kids can be angry, scared, exhausted, or injured. And then lastly, once you've filled all 4 of those, the only thing left is broken as a condition. Now, again, the characters won't die, but you'll get to decide what it looks like when your character becomes like it's like this is the last straw for you. And it might come from a physically dangerous situation, but it might just be that your parents have let you down one too many times and you're already angry, scared, exhausted, and injured. And now because they're not there for you, that's what makes you broken. So there's a lot of room to decide that stuff together. So you can push yourself, take a condition, and then reroll your failed dice. So it's up to you to decide, I think, how much you want to push your characters. Sometimes I'll tell you, like if you fail, you might take a condition, or I'll say, if you can't roll to overcome this, your character is scared. But for the most part, you'll be in control of that stuff. And that's it. If you have a condition, it takes 1 die out of all the pools. The more conditions you have, the harder it is for you to get what you want. If you want to clear your conditions, you can set a scene with your anchor, which we'll figure out during character creation what all those things are. So the first thing that everybody needs to pick, and I think we've got this squared away, is the type. So the archetype for each character. Does everybody have one picked out?
I do.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Well, let's go around and talk about that. So, Aaron, why don't you start? What archetype did you pick? What type did you pick for your kid?
I picked the bookworm.
You're a bookworm? Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Which means I can calculate, investigate, and comprehend.
Nice. So you're that kind of nerd. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. Do you have yours picked out, Wheat?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the popular kid.
Nice.
Maybe.
What are your well, by choosing that type, it's true. You make that statement, you are the popular kid. You may be one of many popular kids, but yeah, you're part of that crowd, at least in public. And what are the 3 skills that
they are? Contact, charm, and lead.
Nice. Okay. Cool. Austin, what did you pick for your character?
I am the weirdo.
Nice. The weirdo being, this is the like Ali Sheedy
Yes,
good,
exactly.
Right?
That's exactly right. Yeah. There's a little goth action going on here. We'll get into it. And my 3 skills that I'm a little bit better at or have a higher potential for are sneak, investigate, and empathize.
Cool. And then Jerry, what did you pick for your kid?
I have the computer geek.
Nice.
Mostly, I mean, it's just, I got to play against type, obviously. But I also wanted to, it seems like that character has to, like, if we're going to be doing this, if we're going to be following the principles, like, we have to have that computer geek in there somewhere just to accurately represent the tropes, right?
Yeah, and I think that it's important to remember for folks watching this at home that Computer Geek in 1986 was very, very different than what we might consider a computer geek now.
Yes.
Computers were the purview of like the AV Club. This was not by any means a universally available technology to people.
No, I mean, the reality, right, is that my mom knows more about technology now just as a normal function of her life than people, than computer geeks knew, generally speaking, like especially in the younger category. Like, it's normal. She has something in her pocket and something in her purse. She's got like 3 computers on her at all times. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. It's very true. Yeah, it was very much a niche thing. You had to actively engage with computers rather than have them around you all the time. Yeah.
Indeed.
And then what are what do you have
that are associated with that? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Okay.
The skills that are associated with computer geekery are calculate, program, and comprehend.
Nice. So when strange technology is made available to you, or really regular technology, you can mess with it and understand it. And then also just generally like logically understanding the world around you is something that your character has a talent at. Cool.
100%.
All right. So the next most important thing, and we'll go through all these steps. I won't go around everybody. We'll walk through these kind of as a group. The next thing you'll need to do is choose your character's age. Now, your age is really important to your character because you can be between 10 and 15 years old. You cannot be older than 15 because once your 16th birthday hits, your character is no longer part of the like world of kids. You move into the adult world and become an adult. So in this game, if you're interacting with older teenagers, they're probably going to be more like adults than like kids. They're not going to understand the things that you do. You're not going to be part of that sort of mystery fantasy world that you're a part of. It mechanically determines how many points you get for your attributes and how many luck points you get. Younger kids are less skilled but luckier, and then vice versa. So you'll get a number of points equal to your age to divide among your 4 attributes, your body, tech, heart, and mind. And then you'll get a number of luck points equal to 15 minus your age. So 10-year-olds get 5, and then 15-year-olds will get none, but you'll get 5 more attribute points. You have to spend 1 on each attribute. You have to have at least 1 in body, tech, heart, and mind, but you can spend however you want elsewhere.
So, sorry, luck points for 15 minus your age?
Yeah, 15 minus your age.
Got it.
So, and your attributes are is your age divided among the stats?
Yes, yeah. And you can divide them however you want, as long as you have 1 in each. And then you'll have some points to spend on your character's skills. And what I think is interesting about the way that this game works with skills, you'll be building your pool between your stat and your skill. So if you have like a 2 in heart and a 1 in lead, you'd have 3 dice to roll on a lead roll to get the successes that you want. Luck points, they will run out throughout the session. Feel free to use them like crazy, though, because normally they refresh at the beginning of a session, but since it's a one-shot, just go ahead and use them up. But you'll need them for those important rolls. Occasionally, there'll be rolls that are more difficult and will require more successes, so you'll have those.
And what's the skill? How do we determine the number of skill points?
So for skills, you get 10 points. Okay. You can take up to level 3 in your 3 key skills. For other skills, only 1 allowed is a maximum.
Ooh, okay.
So for folks at home, the skills are sneak, force, move, program, tinker, calculate, contact, charm, lead, investigate, comprehend, and empathize. So there's lots of skills. and you'll be able to put points into all of those.
You get 10 for skills regardless. That's what you said?
Yeah, 10 total.
Okay.
You can max out at 3 for the 3 that your character is good at.
Okay. What does contact mean?
So contact is like if your character wants to know someone who can help with something. It's the ability to know the right person and get a hold of them. You tell me who that person is and roll to overcome the trouble of finding them. So this is a way that we collaboratively build the game. Anyone who has played Burning Wheel before, this is Circles.
Right.
This is your character's ability to be like, oh no, I totally know this kid. We need help with picking locks. Well, I know someone who has a cousin who was in jail, and maybe
in jail. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's kind of a weird guy, but
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Can we go over what everyone's kind of favorite skills are one more time? Not that I want to power game this exactly, but I want a loose idea of where I have specialty that other people might not.
Yeah. No sweat, man. I've got Program 2, Tinker 1, Calculate 2, Comprehend 2, and right now I've got 1 in Sneak and Force, but don't expect a lot of success from me out of those.
Cool.
I can go. I have 2 for Calculate, 1 for Contact, 1 for Charm, 2 for Investigate, 3 for Comprehend, and 1 for Empathize.
Okay. I'm still figuring mine out. I think I know the things I'm like good at here, but I'm not sure which ones I want to be like, I happen to have 1 in this.
I have 3 in Force.
Okay.
1 in Move, 1 in Contact, 3 in Charm, and 2 in Lead.
Okay.
Our natural born leader, popular kid Marcus. GG.
Also Force though. So
Yeah.
be my friend
or else. Do what I say, punk.
I have
the hyper wedgie.
2 in. Oop, that's wrong. 1 second. Wait, I put something in. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna keep that there. 2 in Sneak, 1 in Force, 1 in Tinker, 2 in Investigate, 1 in Comprehend, 3 in Empathize.
Smooth.
Yeah, cool. But I have a really good natural heart. I'm just not skilled at it. It's like yeah.
Cool. All right. So once you get your skills, we're gonna go through and you will pick an iconic item for your character. Your iconic item is the thing that like we were describing before. If you're on the poster and you're holding the skateboard is your iconic item, right? This is the thing that your character has, and if you use it or incorporate it into a scene where it's appropriate, you get 2 extra dice. When you use your iconic item.
Oh, wow.
So it is mechanically really useful. And you can in a campaign game you would be able to change it between stories, but yeah, that's where you start. So you'll pick your iconic item. You'll pick your character's problem, drive, and pride. So the character sheets all have, like in the book, they'll have some suggestions, but a problem is something in your character that's like just bad for your character, something that gets you in trouble. And it could be about you. It could be about the world around you. It could be basically just something that is a problem for your character. And it can be, don't worry about going too big or broad on this. Just think of like a problem a kid of this type might have. And it can imply things about the world around you. So like, for example, the bookworm in the book, the suggested problems are nobody will tell me how my dad died, my sister is really sick, or some weird guy keeps following me. And these are things we can unravel as we play, but you'll get rewarded at the end of the game if you get in trouble because of your problem. You'll get XP. Your drive is something that your character wants. So it might be like, you want someone to respect you. You want someone to stop picking on you. You want to understand how something works. It's just a thing that your character likes or cares about in the world. And then your pride is something that your character would, if an adult asked them like, so what are you proud of about yourself? What do you like about yourself? This would be the thing that you would write down and give to the guidance counselor. It's a thing that like, I'm the smartest kid in the school. Nothing scares me. I like to help other people. My dad's tougher than everybody else's dad. These are things that your character is proud of. And again, you'll get rewarded with XP if you struggle with or incorporate your pride into a scene during the game. And then we'll work out. Once you've got that, we'll learn what all three of those things are for everybody, and then we'll figure out our relationships to the other kids.
Cool beans.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, I got savory shit. If you just want me to vamp.
Yeah,
we can
start going through them. Yeah. Let's do it. So what's your character's name, Jerry? I'm gonna make some notes.
This is Colton Pringle.
All right.
Occasionally called Chip, but he does not like it.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of the iconic item, I had, like I was telling you before, like my mom always had like that hammer screwdriver that you could like unscrew the hammer part, and then you had like a screwdriver underneath. Like the hammer wasn't great, and neither were the screwdrivers, especially. But that isn't as cool on the poster.
Right.
So I think that he brings his keyboard with him wherever he goes, and the cable's always sticking out of the top. He can't quite zip it all the way down. It's always sort of hanging out a little bit.
Nice. Cool. You gotta have your own keyboard. You can't just use the stock one.
Exactly.
Your keyboard has an interrobang on it. It's special.
Yeah, exactly. It has the real shit. It's Dvorak, motherfucker. So the anchor is the leader of the computer club, Mr. Marsh. So a lot of these things are connected to things that he's actually done. Like in the book, the suggestions are a little bit more general, but a lot of my stuff is like specific things that I have done that have created like what situates him in social space.
What does Mr. Marsh? He's the boss of the computer club, but what does he teach normally?
What does he teach?
Yeah.
In his regular thing, yeah. I think it should be something that's not science. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I think that he actually teaches choir.
Okay, I like it.
Right? And he was the one who was available for this, and so he's like fucking around with MIDI and shit. You know what I mean? Like
oh
way,
my God,
way
yeah.
ahead of it.
This is the like if you went one town over on a Friday night, you'd find him in his silver jumpsuit. Playing synth pop to a group of people that don't care about it. Oh, it's so good.
It could be him. So I've also got so the pride is that Mr. Marsh is that, you know, when we were able to get some computers together for the club, there were 3 or 4 computers that didn't work anymore. And I asked if I could have them, and I was able to make one functioning computer.
Right.
Out of garbage. Right?
Cool.
So that's the point of pride. Like I say in the book, they're a little bit more general, but I wanted to be specific. The problem that Chip Pringle has is that he has like one of the classic dot matrix style printers, right? He is, when letters come from school, he opens them and then rewrites them and then seals them back up.
Right.
So it's bad. It is bad news bears in terms of school performance. Like there's only one thing that he gives a shit about at all. And he has, and it's just a matter of time, but he's been able to keep this thing running.
He's living on the edge.
Exactly. He's been able to run it. He thinks sometimes when he is programming the computer, he has something like a mystical experience, like that flow state. And he is convinced that there is a way to program things that aren't computers.
Right. Okay. Sure. So he in another 10 or 15 years, he'll be a mage, the Ascension protagonist.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's a virtual adept in the making.
That's
okay.
him. Description, he's got the classic plaid shirt, red, yellow, and black stripes. The favorite song is Rock Me Amadeus by Falco.
Nice. Fantastic. The English version or original German?
Oh, I see it. That's my cousin had the tape. It was the single, and you could flip it over. It had both.
Nice. Excellent. Cool. All right. Who wants to go next?
I can go.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Aaron, go for it.
Yeah. So my name is Aisha Durand. Marcus and I share the same last name because we're twins. We're twins.
We're twins.
So we're both 13, but Marcus and I did not grow up as twins. Our parents pulled a parent trap and they divorced and separated. And I went with mom and he went with dad, except for mom has tragically died in a freak accident. And now I've been forced to go live with my brother and my dad. And we're very polar opposite people. So I love books. I'm kind of quiet and shy, and he's obviously the popular jock kid. So having to live up to that expectation with a new parent, it's not very fun. So that's my problem. My problem is that I have to live with this guy and figure out how to go from being a single child to a twin of someone who is nothing like me. But that's fine.
And so you're from out of town, but
actually,
so which one of you lived here?
We moved back. Dad and us moved back.
Oh, so you're the new popular interloper who happens to look like the old and busted girl no one cares about anymore. Oh,
yeah.
That's such a shame.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I just don't even mess with all this hot mess of a situation, and I keep to my books, which is my iconic item. I have it here, kids. You can look it up. It's called Abracadabra, and it's a book in which a 13-year-old. This was like the OG Harry Potter, where she finds out at 13 that she has magical powers, and she's special, and it helps her become the popular kid at school. And so, that's what I'm resting my loyals on. That I am going to find something that makes me special. Right? Because I'm not. I'm just like the nerdy book kid, and nobody likes me because they're all paying attention to my brother. So that's my drive. My anchor is Dad, because he's the only consistency that I have anymore.
What's your dad's name?
Oh, you fucked
Marcus?
up.
Yeah, what is it? I
Randy.
literally put.
Ooh, that's a good dad name.
Randy.
That's
Randy Durand.
That is a dangerous name.
That's a very
What's his
dangerous
last
name
name?
to name an
Durand.
NPC.
Oh,
Durand.
Durand. I thought you said
Randy
Brand.
Durand.
and
I like
was
how his
afraid
name
of
sounds a lot
Randy
like
Durand.
Durand.
Yeah, it's
Rand?
Randy. Randy Durand.
Love it.
Game begins, and your dad has been shot in the head.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Randy is your anchor. So even though you don't necessarily get along with your brother so much, your dad like has taken you in and cares about you and is your anchor. Okay.
There's
I like that.
there's definitely now a new making up for lost time, daddy's girl kind of like.
Okay.
He tries. He's trying. He doesn't know what to do as a single dad with a early teen girl, right? He doesn't know. There's going to be a lot of awkward life things coming up soon, puberty and shit, and he's not prepared for it, but he's trying. Okay. My pride is that I am kind of independent. I don't need people. Specifically leading back to a story in 5th grade. I don't know if you guys know, and here in America, we do 5th grade camps, and in my state, it's like common. They just ship a bunch of kids out into the wilderness.
Oh no,
This
same.
is a true story. In 5th grade, they dropped us all off in the middle of the woods and gave us a map and a compass, and we're like, peace out, bye, find your way back. And I was the first kid back within like a very significant
So
time.
you're the Bear Grylls of the party.
Yeah, I made it back like 25 minutes before any other kid. And you had to like go on these different waypoints and get things stamped. So when you got back, they had like proof that you had been everywhere because they had unique stamps. So that's my pride is actually a real life thing that I won this like orienteering contest at like 10 years old by a significant margin.
What's your favorite song?
Dance Magic by David Bowie from The Labyrinth.
Nice.
Oh,
Good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You remind me of the Babe. What Babe? The Babe with the power at
What
13. Power of voodoo.
Voodoo?
Who do you do what? Remind me of the Babe. So
It's gonna be coming up, people. Take notes.
take notes. I'm looking for a man in some sweet gray leggings.
And so that movie would have just come out. Like it's maybe still in the theater.
And I'm obsessed.
Yeah. Okay.
T-shirts, books, posters, puppets, everything. They're mine.
No, my
Perfect.
wife Brenna, when she was because I hadn't seen Labyrinth when I was a kid because we were super Christian. It was not.
I was
available.
say it's the devil's film.
Oh, yeah, it was not. It was in more ways than one. But the way that she described having seen it as a little kid was that it made her feel funny in a way that she didn't actually recognize the contours of until much later.
I believe that there's something in that film to make all of us feel special in that special way.
There's definitely some content there.
Yeah.
Hashtag
all right.
content. Yeah.
Austin, do you want to introduce your character for us?
I am Harvest Quinn. I'm 14. I'm a weirdo.
Okay, hold on. I gotta ask: is Harvest the name that's on your birth certificate?
Yeah,
or is that
absolutely. Her parents. No, her parents. No, I think everybody. She insists people call her Quinn. Actually, because it's just like that. Harvest is the name her dad chose for her. Because her dad was attracted to a sort of like nature and agriculture and all of that, and that's what led her dad to meet her mom, who is actually a park warden, who's like a forest ranger basically. Bad news, they got divorced years later. And they won't. My problem actually is that my parents won't tell me why they got divorced. It's a complete mystery, and it's driving me crazy. Also, they left me with my father, who lives in Thunder Bay, instead of my mom, who I love and who is a cool forest ranger. And so I'm stuck in the city. And because of all of this, I've kind of become like a country goth, like a cowgirl goth.
So does Harvest? How's Harvest's French? Right, because that's if you're a Canadian, you're at least spending some time learning some French. But maybe did you used to live in a more like is that a thing about you that you're like I speak better French than anyone in Thunder Bay? Like
yeah, totally. I think that's actually a pretty good. My pride right now is like I never get lost physically, but I think I speaks better French than anybody in Thunder Bay better.
Yeah, I live in Montreal.
The best French, okay. And my anchor is my mom, who lives an hour away, so I only get to see her like every other weekend or something. And that distance is actually part of why she's an anchor, because I get to not deal with the reality of who she is. She gets to just be the cool forest ranger mom. Meanwhile, my dad is like a sheriff, but as you pointed out to me, Adam, in Ontario, sheriffs are just like court clerks, basically. They deliver paperwork. And Harvest is like obsessed with these Hollywood depictions of sheriffs who are like badasses who kick down the doors in the saloons and shoot the bad guys and rescue their friends. When did
Walker, Texas Ranger come on TV?
I think 90s, unfortunately.
It was in the 90s, I think.
I think so.
Early
but
90s.
Not 93.
Lots of repeats of Gunsmoke though. Lots of like growing up on TV culture. And so because of like the kind of like lone gunman figure, and because of the mother figure, my drive is to never rely on an adult. Which I hope will actually impress my mom, which is like that exact sort of child logic that's completely fucking backwards.
Yeah.
I don't need you, except I need you to approve of how I don't need you.
Please approve of me so much.
What's your mom and dad's name?
My mom is Rebecca Holloway.
Okay.
And my father is Clark Quinn.
Okay.
Another irony there is like I don't like my dad. Also, I insist everybody use his last name for me.
Right. Do you call your dad Clark?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
You can't tell me what to do. Clark.
It's like, you're not my real dad, except you totally are my real dad. And that's why you're such a disappointment to me, because you had a responsibility, Dad. She is black with tight short hair. I have a photo in my description that is like Willow Smith had really tight like black hair for a couple of years. So it's like that. And then it's like lots of faded plaids and like short cutoff jeans, black leggings, messy makeup. The thing that I think I was torn on it, but I've decided her iconic item is a compass that's also a makeup compact.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
So it's like the compact is open, but you can see that there's a compass on the other side of it.
It's rare to find a company in the 1980s that would have made such a gender diverse item, because compasses are for boys and compacts are for girls.
I have one tinker, right? And so I think I made it. It's the one
that's even better.
We're gonna be friends, me and you.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna be best friends.
Let's do it. We can do that, right? Like we can have relationships.
Yeah, we'll do.
Part of the character creation,
Yeah, we'll do the last intro. We'll learn about Wheat's character, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll do all the communal stuff. We'll do the relationships. We'll figure out your hideout.
Last thing, really quick for Harvest is her favorite song is A Forest by The Cure, which came out in 1980, which is when her parents were still together. And she just has this like she's like a painted memory where like she was 8 years old or something like that. So she was too young to really remember it clearly, but she just remembers like riding around in their Jeep together through the woods and like the splash of a puddle and like one of their hands reaching back to hold hers and then like a deer outside while this like, Cure song is playing. And,
I have a very similar memory from my childhood, only it's I Want Your Sex by George Michael. So
that's okay, sure. and here you are today.
And here we are. Thanks, George Michael. Cool. All right. Marcus?
Yeah,
Tell us
twin to Aisha, as said before, Carter Durand is my character's name. 13, the popular kid, but the problem is, and sort of the drive kind of comes from the fact that he's now moved to Thunder Bay. The drive, I guess, starts with, because it makes sense that the problem is that I want to be the popular kid at the new school like I was at the old school.
So where did you go to school before? You don't have to give me like a name, but like, is this we had to move to this town from somewhere cool like Toronto, or was it like a lateral move? Because the size of the town, I think, is a big.
Oh yeah,
from
definitely from
Nebraska to
somewhere.
California?
No, from somewhere cool. Yeah, it was certainly like and you said like late spring, so it was literally like 2 months before school ends, and they're like, all right, mom's gone, we got to go to Thunder Bay.
Okay.
It's like how every 80s movie starts, I feel like.
The worst time to move to a new
right, exactly. So the problem is that within the first week, I already fought with the popular kid at the new school.
What was the name of this popular kid?
It was Dennis.
Ugh.
Okay.
Fucking Dennis.
Fucking Dennis, man.
I give Dennis a French last name.
And so actually, my pride, I think, is just, I feel like
name is Dennis Bouchard.
I connect with people.
And it's spelled
Right, like-
Denis, like the French way.
Oh yeah, Denis.
Denis Bouchard. So this fight, I don't want to move away from this point yet. Is it a problem because you won or because you lost?
No, it was definitely like the fight that would happen in the first 20 minutes where it sort of like almost happens, but then
Just
the teacher,
hierarchy, just
and then
pure
Dennis is
hierarchy.
like, this is my school, Carter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go back to Toronto.
walks away.
Cool.
Like-
Denis
Use
has
more
a
hairspray, Dennis.
he's got a crush on Quinn for sure. This is, but he can't admit,
100%.
Fucking
he
guy.
can't admit it because but he wants
Yeah.
to speak French to you.
But I only ever call him Denny, and it just gets right the fuck under his skin.
Right.
And
Why?
Yeah,
I would
with
say-
a Y. Absolutely with a Y. Yeah.
my iconic item is a Walkman,
Nice.
right? Like a Walkman 2, like a super fucking shiny Sony Walkman 2.
Oh,
like that.
with that sort of snap on the side that closes.
Yeah, it
the
looks
glass.
like futuristic and shit. Yeah.
I feel like our dad works in some kind of tech related thing.
Well,
Got
he
you.
could,
In the we're well off, but not. It's like a secret. Like he's
He
got
could-
some weird shit that he does
he
that
could
we
very
don't know.
easily be someone who this is good. He could very easily work for a company that was just bought out by a Japanese parent company,
Mhm.
and like
Very
this
80s.
Walkman, this Walkman was like part of the like welcome to the company. Like everyone at the company got one, but your dad was like, I don't know how this works, and gave it to you.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is. Here you
But I
go.
feel like he's one of those dad that we just say, like, every kid knows my dad's a teacher, my dad's whatever. And they're like, what's your dad do? And we're like, he just works. We don't.
middle management at a
Yeah.
Japanese
He just
company. I
he
don't
works
understand.
at a thing. He just
It's
is
true,
a thing.
But also, there's only one Walkman per employee.
Yeah, I didn't
and
get
I-
it for sure.
This is what I'm talking about.
No, I didn't get it. I just
Think about all
'cause
those books on tape you could be listening to.
I know.
You could
Excuse
read-
you.
You could
You need
read
to
and
smell the
listen at the same
paper.
time.
You need to smell
Awesome.
the book.
Okay,
That's
and
the
what's
best
and what's
part.
what's the song that you jam? in
Oh,
your Walkman?
I chose Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Thriller, a classic. I love it. Old MJ.
So now we have to completely imagine frame by frame the entire video because
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
what happens as
Yes,
soon
which
as
is
someone mentions. You
perfect.
can hear that
Which is
bass
perfect
line.
timing. was perfect timing. We'll take a short break, and in that time, just sit still in your chair and just imagine that whole video, just the whole get it going. We'll be right back with part 2 of role play one shots, Tales from the Loop. Don't go anywhere.